Hi there, welcome. My name is Dr. Angel Kreitz. I'm with New Covenant University, and tonight we are talking about orientation and how New Covenant University works. Now, we've already had one orientation this year, and I wanted to tell everyone how our university started, who the founders were, what we're based on, our principles. And so all of that was done in a previous recording, and it's found here on this YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel if you're interested in that. But tonight we're getting into more of the mechanics of it, the logistics on how it actually works and what we need to do as students to fulfill our credit requirements. And so I'm just talking about that tonight. So tonight, if you're not in NCU, it's going to be remarkably boring. But if you're interested in joining NCU and you'd like to become part, maybe you'll find it interesting because you'll think, I can do those things. I can do them, no problem. And that's certainly my hope and prayer. If you're interested in full-time ministry, in Christian entrepreneurship, in Christian education, in Christian counseling, in leadership in any form and fashion, or maybe you just even want to have personal development, like you just are seeking wisdom, which the Bible says is the principal thing, then this class is okay for you to listen to. You will enjoy it and you will love getting to know NCU and our culture. I am conducting a meeting here on Zoom. I have some students who are watching me online, and so sometimes you'll hear other voices, but they won't appear on this video because, of course, they're on Zoom. But thank you so much for joining me tonight, Tim Brooks, and you're such a blessing to me always, and I appreciate you. If you are watching on Facebook and you'd like to just leave the city and state you're watching from, I'm happy to greet you. If you hear this video and you think to yourself, wow, that sounds totally doable, and I would love to know more about applying to attend New Covenant University, please either put your email in the chat stream if you feel comfortable doing that, if you have like a business email or whatever, or if you would like, you're more than welcome to private message me on this Facebook page, or WhatsApp me or text me at 615-948-2212. You can WhatsApp me or text me at 615-948-2212. Now, we're a small university, so that number goes straight to my office, so you're more than welcome to contact me in that way. All right, let's get into it. How university works. Now, as you know, most of you guys have been attending classes for about a month now, so we work in 3 different ways. Our students receive classes, you have independent study, and you have an internship. Those are 3 ways that you can earn your academic credits in order to graduate. Usually, you can earn credits in a college if you're sitting in a classroom and taking notes, and then you have to have tests. Well, at NCU, we don't believe in tests because a lot of people can take a test and pass a test and it have no practical or life application. And so a lot of those folks have studied to pass the test, and we require that you study to pass the test of life and ministry. Does that make sense? We definitely want to prepare you and make you as strong as possible. And we just don't believe tests will do that for you, but we are interested in what you know. So let's talk about classes first and foremost. Now, we've improved since last year, haven't we, Miss Lynn? Yes, we've improved since last year, because last year, if you were a student, you got your Zoom link about 20 minutes before class actually started. And then you also got your notes at that time. But this year, our staff has discovered this wonderful thing called a Google Calendar or an Apple Calendar. And we found out that we can make those calendars shareable and public, so that you're able to look on your calendar, view when we're having classes, It contains the Zoom link, and once we've had classes, they remain on the calendar, and a YouTube link replaces the Zoom link. We can also attach notes to these calendars so that all you have to do is click on them and the notes open up in PDF format and you can print them yourself. We also attach other things, like on tonight's class, if you'll notice in your attachments, we have the student handbook attached there, so that if you had any questions concerning anything like tuition rates, the number of credits it takes to pass a certain course, what the streams of education are, like you wouldn't want to take an education undergrad course or sign up for that degree and then go into theology later. There's a stream to it. It tells you all of that information. It also gives you verbatim the mission of the university, what we hope to accomplish through you, our accreditation information, and it talks about upcoming things like conferences and graduation and things like that. So you definitely want to take a look at that if you didn't already have a copy of our student handbook. They are updated almost yearly, and so you'll want to know about that. But anyway, the classes are found, again, live on Zoom, live on Facebook, the New Covenant University Facebook, and they are recorded for our YouTube channel under New Covenant University. Now, if you are not following the YouTube and the Facebook for New Covenant University, go on ahead and do that tonight. Go on ahead and do that tonight. Take note of it and follow that. We'll also post the links for those things on our Facebook page tonight so that it's a little reminder for you. But if you're not following the Facebook page, that doesn't do you any good, does it? But we will post those things. Any questions so far? Is there any student on my Zoom chat that say to me, hey, I am not participating in the calendar, like I haven't gotten my invite to share? I'd like to take note of your names now. So if you could just put in the comment section of this meeting, I need an invite to share the calendar. That would be great. Everyone should be on our calendar. All of the names that I have tonight in tonight's class, I do have that you are sharing the calendar. So if you're not, I'm unaware. Is anyone having a problem with the uploading the notes? Tanya, you cannot upload the notes? I have the calendar, but no notes ever, okay?
Pastor Morlock has problems accessing the notes as well. I email them to him.
Okay.
They don't even show up that there's notes.
Okay. Anyone else? No notes for Nisette?
That's the same with me. Like, it doesn't look like there's anything attached.
Okay. Excellent. I'm glad that we're resolving all of these things. Now, of the three, Pastor Morlock, Tanya, and Nisette, do you guys have the Apple calendar or the Google calendar?
Google.
Google. How about you, Tanya?
I'm not sure. I think it's Apple,
Okay.
but
I'll get you set up with Apple or Google, depending on what you want.
I have it on here, see?
Is that Google or Apple?
I don't know. It's just on my phone.
So,
It's the calendar. This is your Apple calendar, then you have it in Apple calendar.
okay. So we got an
If
Apple
you-
calendar.
if
I
you
get
send me
you.
your
I
phone,
understand.
I'll tell you.
I understand wholeheartedly. I do. I'm the same way. Greetings, Lenato. Thank you for joining us tonight. So happy to see you. I don't think we got a chance to greet you. But anyway, all right. So your classes appear on your calendar with the Zoom link. Then they're also on Facebook Live. So if you're ever panicked and you're like, oh, I can't get on my Zoom link, where can you go? To Facebook Live. Okay, just go to your Facebook. So there's two options for you to take a live class on Facebook and on Zoom. The only exception to that rule is if I hire independent contractors to come and teach you, which is why, and their material is controlled. So that's why Doctors Drake and Serena Travis were not on Facebook. They were, they were asked to come and teach for the university as guest professors. And so they did not put their material on Facebook, and that's perfectly fine. But other than that, you can pretty much know that it's going to be on Facebook Live on one page or another. And so you have classes in those two ways. Now let's say, gosh, my computer didn't work. I missed the Zoom class. I missed the Facebook Live class. What am I going to do? No worries. That's why you follow the YouTube channel, because it will be on there shortly after. And I promise, if you don't get it there, I don't know how to help you. You're as bad as I am. That's all I know.
I've just put the links in the chat to the Facebook page and the YouTube channel for people to subscribe.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Lynn. I appreciate you so much. So we have that sorted out. We know the 3 different ways you can watch the classes. Now, I think that you will find in the future, and maybe even on some of your syllabuses now, there are also links to classes that are already there. You're welcome to view any of those classes. Our classes are free for anyone and everyone to audit. We are a ministry, and so we do want to minister to people. It's just our students are special because they earn credits for it and get degrees for it. So they're the smart ones. Are there any questions on, oh, and I had one more thing to talk about. Let's say you do have to watch the course not live. So we take attendance. I don't know if you noticed, we take attendance every class. We know if you're here or not. Now, how are we going to know that you've watched the video if you're not here? So what I want you to do is, when you have to watch the YouTube video, or if you go back and watch the Facebook video at a different time, I want you to ask at least 2 questions concerning the content in the comments section. Ask 2 questions in the comment section of what is going on. Now, I've had people who have said, oh, Dr. Rasheen, it's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Wow, we are so blessed that you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I've had people come to me and say, yes, I watched the class. And I'd say, well, what was it about? And they'll say something like, identity, grace, love, the love of God. And it was like nothing like that. So that's why we ask that you ask 2 questions in the comment section. And we will do our best to answer them, but we just want to know that you were watching it and comprehending what was being said. Does anyone have any questions concerning the classes portion? Everyone understand? That's wonderful. I appreciate that. I'm doing my job then, guys. All right. The second way we learn, the second way we earn credits at NCU is through independent study. Now you're like, what is independent study? That sounds very scary. It does. I understand. on our website, ncu.education, our homepage contains meet our alumni section, a contact us section, which may or may not work right now. And then on the bottom, it says degrees offered. And there are 4 different buttons, and they all have our little logo on them. One of them says Associate of Arts degrees. One of them says Bachelor of Arts degrees, Master of Arts degrees, and Doctorate degrees. And we offer 2 different Associate of Art majors. We offer 4 different Bachelor of Art majors. We offer 3 Master of Art majors. And I believe 3 doctorate majors. So if you click on one of the buttons, what's going to come up, like if I clicked Bachelor of Arts degrees, what's going to come up are 4 different boxes. In the Bachelor of Arts degrees section, Classical Education, Theology, Christian Leadership and Organizational Management, and Christian Counseling comes up. So let's say you are Christian Leadership and Organizational Management. That's what most people take. That's our most popular degree. A course syllabus will show up. And it contains links to the ways you can order books, and it contains a description of the course, and it also contains your assignment. And usually it says, write a reaction paper on the required book. This is what we call our independent study, because we're a small university and we've built really great general core classes. We offer those to everyone, but we also ask that you do independent study so that you can get all that you need for your major core courses. Now, you might say, oh gosh, that's a lot of reading. Well, yes, you're going to have to learn. That's one of the lessons you'll learn in university. You're going to have to learn to study books, to study on your own independently. Once you're a Christian leader, leaders never stop learning, not for a minute. Leaders are readers. A lot of people don't know this, but back in the old days. Oh, Rashawn is with us tonight. Welcome, Rashawn. I'm so happy to see you. Back in the day when parents selected their child's spouse when they were little. Does anyone remember that practice? Baby's born, we're gonna go find a spouse for our baby. That way they can grow up near each other. The parents would actually go in and meet the other set of parents. And the first thing they would look for is the library. They wanted to know how valuable books were in that household because they are a culture that's very, very, I think this was a story in How to Prosper by Rabbi Daniel Lapin. They knew that any key to good leadership, to a solid, balanced foundation of the mind, and a strong foundation of prosperity began with study. And so how much do you value knowledge? How much do you value study? We value that highly. I was speaking with another person. I belong to a very charismatic church, a very Pentecostal-like church. We love the presence of the Lord. We feel that and we enjoy having that. But anytime you have a church who values feelings and emotions over knowledge and wisdom, there's an imbalance there. So if it's one thing I try to teach my students is to have a solid foundation of wisdom and order and understanding, and then build on that. The presence of the Lord always comes where there's order. So, yes, you will have to read books. There are some books that are assigned, that are used, that are meant to be reference books. And there are certain pages that you do the reaction paper on. Our Intro to Counseling book is 450 pages long. I don't require that you read that cover to cover. It would be a great waste of your time. But I do ask that you do a reaction paper on a certain number of pages, the introductory part of it, the part that I find valuable. Because what happens is the first 200 pages have the introductory, how to counsel in a group, what scriptures there are that you need to really emphasize, how to set up your paperwork, how to set up your office. All of those things are very valuable. And then it goes into kind of a topical subject. Like, if someone's going through a divorce, do this. If someone's going to have premarital counseling, do that. I don't want you to do a reaction paper on all of that. Just the general part. So we'll talk more about that as well. So your syllabus contains the books required that you need to purchase and read and keep on your shelf at home, because they have everything to do with what you want to be walking in. The reaction papers, and then the thesis and dissertation. Let's talk about the reaction papers. The reaction paper guidelines changed this year. So I want you to all have a new copy of the reaction paper guidelines. Those will be attached to the calendar tonight. And for those of you who, I think everyone who's on tonight will receive an email copy of them as well. That and your student notebook, handbook, and if it applies to you, your graduate studies notebook. But the only thing that changed of those three is the reaction paper guidelines. Your reaction paper guidelines say this: answer the following questions to develop your paragraphs within your reaction paper. All reaction papers must be 2 to 3 pages long. I'm going to go over the questions with you now. The first question is, what is the book about? Describe the top 3 main ideas in the book. I used to be provost of this university. I've read all the books. I know what they're about. Please don't write a paragraph for each main idea. You don't have to convince me. I gotcha. I just want you to briefly touch on the 3 main ideas so that I know that you know what the book is about. That's all. Like, if I give you John Maxwell's 360 Leader, I want you to know that it's not a theology book. And having you describe the top 3 main ideas, and by the way, I know if you use Google on that question. But if I have you describe the top 3 main ideas, I get to know how you're thinking, what's going through your mind as you read it. And a lot of times when you reveal what people get from something, you reveal what they either need or really know. So there's always a method to my madness. So definitely describe the top 3 main ideas in the book in 1 paragraph, 1 short little paragraph. Don't make it long. And this is why, because the bulk of the rest of your reaction paper has to be life application. The second question is, what is the author's background? From the author's point of view, why did he or she write the book? Now, what am I saying to you here? I want you to understand context. I want you to understand the mindset of the person. I remember assigning a book that Steve Jobs wrote on communication. Now, I understand how a lot of people feel about Steve Jobs, and a lot of people did not appreciate the fact that his book that had 4 cuss words in it, 4. You watch a movie with more than that in it. I know you do. You guys are not like saints. I get it. There was a lot of kickback that we used it in a Christian university. Now we are just using top cutting edge leaders material to teach you the very best way we know how. But if they had answered, what is the author's background from the author's point of view? Why did he or she write the book? Then you have context about that person. Have you ever heard that old phrase, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater? Not everyone's on the same journey in the same place as you are. We know that one day they'll probably come to God. We pray that. We pray that the Holy Spirit affects all. But sometimes there are good thoughts from secular people. So that helps you to determine some of the ideas in their book we don't accept, some of the ideas as truth, and some of the ideas in the book may be shaded with their belief system, and that's okay. And it helps us to receive the things that we can from that. The third one, very important question. 3, 4, and 5 are very important questions. How can you apply this book to your area of ministry or professional life? How can you apply this book to your area of ministry or professional life? I want an actual answer, a detailed answer, one that tells me about you, one that shows me a day in your life. I have had students who have done cookie cutter reaction papers. They have said, okay, how can I apply this book? I can apply this book to, my area of ministry or professional life because as a co-pastor, I and I found this information useful. If you answer like that, I'm going to take 5 points from your paper. I had a student last year who was a preschool teacher, and she said, oh, I know how I can use this. Every morning when I do bell work, I want to teach them a new scripture because I think it's important that they understand that the God world, that they understand that there is not 1 square inch of the earth that Christ does not claim as his. And I want to teach them from a young age that it's in everything. So I'm going to teach them a scripture in the morning. That to me is a detailed answer. That is what I need. I can use this book. I'll just pull one off the shelf. I can use Honor's Reward by John Bevere in my professional life because I can model before my people, before my congregants, that I as a pastor also honor my head and honor guests and honor people that speak into my life. I never want to get so prideful that they don't see that modeled before them because I know an example is the very best teacher. That is an excellent answer. Anything vague or anything that's general is not going to be accepted any longer. It'll be a deduction of 5 points. The next question is, do you agree or disagree with all or some of the book? What supports your stance? Listen, you have to know this. We are not a liberal secular college. We like it when you disagree with us. It's fine. We don't mind. We like it when you agree with us. That makes our job super easy. But every once in a while, we like a challenge. Also, we're not so prideful as to think that we get it right. 100% of the time. So what are we doing when we say, do you agree or disagree with all or some of the book? We're teaching you apologetics. We're teaching you that it is okay to disagree with things and to be civil about it. At some point, you're going to have to defend the cause of Christ to other people. And you have to learn to do so in a professional, intelligent manner. I remember teaching my daughter this. Oh, she hated it. She was a teenager. She absolutely hated it. She would say something off the cuff that she heard from school. She went to public school, so she heard a lot of things. And she would say something, and they were usually a hot topic. And so I'm not going to give you an example because I don't want to bring up a hot topic. I'm just way too tired on this Tuesday night to do it anyway. But I remember saying, why do you believe that? And she'd say, Mom. I'm like, no, convince me. Tell me why you believe that. And she'd say, well, I don't know. I just believe it. I think it's the right thing to do. So I'd say, why? And she said, because it's like we've grown past this and we need to do this. And she'd always say things like that because that is how they teach you to defend things when you're in high school. I'm just right. I just know I'm right. And so I'm not going to listen to anything. Well, Dr. Angel, all my life I had to fight. I am tired. I understand. Well, here's what I know about the subject, and I would bullet point her 4 facts about the subject that rebutted what she had to say. Hell, I'm not saying that I was trying to tear her down, but I was saying to her, can you give me some counterfacts? Can you give me something? And every time she would say, oh, I don't know, I'd have to research. And I say, that's exactly right, my dear. We went from being cutting edge, top performers in every arena of the world. If you've ever listened to Lance Wallnau's 7 Mountains. And Christians got lazy. We made things easy. I don't want it to be that way for you. You are students of NCU. And I want you to be able to defend the cause of Christ in a civil and loving manner. The next question is, what ideas or points from the book could you relate to or change your perspective? If you aren't learning through NCU, I just don't know what to do. There's got to be at some point something I say in the class, something that's said in a book that's going to change your perspective about something. We're always learning and growing. Or you can relate to something. Yeah, Dr. Angel, when you talk to me about my purpose and about how sometimes like we do assignments just for the sake of like surviving, but we're not really thriving, I could really relate to that because I feel that way. Or like Hannah did last time. Man, when you were talking about we can't answer the questions because we don't know ourselves, I totally related to that. Or I used to think like we have the shack as in one of our theology courses, we have the shack as one of our textbooks. And I remember someone saying, you know, when I first heard about that book, I thought it was like heresy because they made God the black woman. But then after reading it, I kind of realized that God comes to us in a safe way to approach him in order to connect with us. And then he reveals the truth of who he is when we feel close to him. And that is so true. That is so true. I love seeing people's perspectives change. I love seeing people relate to the things that we teach. We be learning. That's right, Rashawn Rigby. Does anyone have any questions about those 5 questions?
Of course I do, Dr. Angel.
Yes.
So in my bachelor's last year, my reaction papers were heavy on the 2 to 3 ideas. Sorry, the 3 main ideas. Now you want me to put them into 1 or 2 paragraphs and go heavy on the others?
I want you to put it in 1 paragraph and go heavy on the others.
I love you, Dr. Angel.
We have Cassandra Dewar watching on Facebook. Oh, I'm so grateful for you, Miss Cassandra. Thank you for watching. Are there any other? Abigail Pratt, thank you for joining us tonight. What a blessing.
Good night.
Are there any other questions about the 5 questions for the reaction papers? I want you guys to succeed, but I can tell you that this year I will be deducting points for not answering the questions, the last 3 questions, very thoroughly. Also, write this down. You'll need to know it. If you are an undergrad student, you should be completing 2 to 3 of these reaction papers per month to stay on track. Now, you might say, listen, December, I'm good for nothing. Just take that into consideration when you turn in reaction papers during the other months. Do not wait until the end of the year to do 20 reaction papers. It's not going to work for you. 2 to 3 reaction papers per month starting now. So in the month of October, it is now halfway done. Do 1. In November, do 3. In December, do 2. These books are practical for reading, and they can be read easily within a few hours. Now, we are going to ask Lisa to be a guest on our future workshop. She's going to tell you how she does her reaction papers. And it's very insightful, very good, very organized. So I think you'll enjoy hearing from her with that. How many assignments do undergrads need to do per month?
3.
Very good. Extra credit for you. NCU requires that all work be submitted for credit meet the following standards. I want you to email me all the assignments. Last year, you had to copy and paste them. Do not do that this year. This year, you're going to send them to me in PDF form. In the subject line of your email, and of course, this is all written out for you, the subject line of your email, you're going to have your name, your course number, and your course title. The only exception to this is if you attend a host campus. Fremont, Ohio has a host campus. You are allowed to then turn it in hard copy form to your academic mentor.
Dr. Angel, in the subject line, don't we put our student number?
No, that's not necessary. Just your name, your course number, the course number of the reaction paper, and the course title. It's going to be a 12-point font size, single-spaced, sent in a PDF format. You can send up to 3 assignments in 1 email. And this is of the utmost importance. Sometimes these things get lost in the shuffle. So always, 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 always retain a copy. Don't delete them. Put them in a little file. Never delete your assignments, because I might come back for you and ask to you and ask for them again. Does anyone have any questions concerning your reaction papers? If you're a graduate or postgraduate level student, you'll want to do one a month. Just one. How many, let's see. I believe that you don't have to do more than that.
Is that because we're doing a thesis?
It is. Unless you're a divinity major, then do 3 a month or 4. If you do divinity, you're going to do 3 or 4 a month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10. You might have to do 2 a couple of the months, but 10, there are 10 assignments. So that equals out to like 1 or 2 a month. And it's because you're going to be doing your thesis. Now let's talk about the thesis or dissertation. You should be, if you're a graduate level student or post-grad, you should be choosing your subject matter now. You should be deciding that now. Let's say by November the 11th, to keep you on track, November 11th, your proposals are due. What's a proposal? A proposal is simply a document that tells me what you're going to write your thesis or dissertation on and why, and how you are going to write it. What your strategy is for writing that. It's a brief overview. It's no more than 5 pages long, your proposal. But Miss Lynn, but it can be just 2 to 3 pages long.
Is there a limit on how many times I get to rewrite it 9,000 times before I send it? Just asking for a friend.
Before you send it, no. You may write it as often as you want. You may write a new one every day.
Come on, Miss Lisa. Come on, Miss Lisa. You know you're preaching. Come on. Yes.
I think I rewrote it 9 times last time. She's like, just send it to me.
Honestly, I mean, I don't even understand, Dr. Angel, how I'm going to write like 3 to 5 pages on this, because I know what I'm writing on. I can sum it up in like 2 paragraphs. If I start to elongate it, I'm just going to cut and paste out of the thesis.
Well, okay, let me help you.
Yeah, please. I need all the help I can get. Can't you see this face?
Because within that, like, let's say, are you going to interview people? What are your sources going to be? What kinds of sources are you going to use? Are you going to, some people use Hebrew International University, some of their courses for their information. So it's just, we'd like to know, number one, your heart on why you chose that thesis. Because remember, a thesis or a dissertation always solves a problem. It always solves a problem. So why did you choose it? Number 2, how are you going to write it? Are you going to write it from a biblical stance, a theological stance? Are you going to write it from a secular stance, a practical application? Are you going to write it like that? Be clear about what you're going to prove or disprove if that applies. Are you going to issue interviews to people? I've had people send out these questionnaires to many people. I had a beautiful dissertation on the need for discipline within the classroom. She was a German student, and she said in Europe, in the Northern Europe countries, that their public school systems no longer made a place for discipline, that went more on being sensitive to a student's feelings and anxieties. And then she proved the case that discipline was required in order to have a solid foundation for a learning environment. So she sent different interview pages to both parents. She had students fill out questionnaire pages, and she had other teachers fill them out, and she was able to answer a lot of questions within her dissertation based on the information she got from those. Maybe you would do an experiment, and if that's the case, then you have to put that in your proposal. If you have an idea for an experiment, like I'm going to teach this Bible study from this worldview to a set of students, and then I'm going to go back and teach the same topics in a different theological worldview and see where they got the most understanding. I'm just throwing things out there. I don't know for sure what you guys are planning to do, but we'd want to know that. We want to know where your main sources are. I never asked for this before 2014, but I'll tell you what happened in 2014 that prompted me to ask for such a detailed proposal. I had a gentleman come to me who wrote his doctoral dissertation, and he brought it to me a couple of days before he had to defend it, because usually when you are a doctoral graduate, you have to defend it before 2 or 3 board members. We all read the dissertation, and we were confused by it because he did not cite any sources. Also, much of it was a disorganized kind of information flow. It was difficult to understand. And much of it was biographical in nature, which is not what you want for a dissertation. And so we started to have him defend it, and he couldn't. He just said, well, that's what I think. That's what I think. And the poor man left there crying. And I asked him, I said, did you not do any research on your subject? Where did you get your information from? And he said this. He said, just me and the Holy Spirit. You can't defend a dissertation just you and the Holy Spirit all the time, because people ask hard questions. And so that's why it's important that I know that you've got a solid foundation. Yes, Mr. Todd. Yes, very much so. He was upset. He did end up rewriting his dissertation, and he was grateful that we had asked him to do that, because he said, you know, I never really thought about it that way, but that does make sense. I thought all pastors just wrote their books based on what they heard from the Holy Spirit. And so we were glad to show him how to research, how to get knowledge, how to obtain that, and use what he got from the Holy Spirit and to prove it also. So he was grateful for that, and he did receive his doctorate. So your proposals are due on November the 11th. How to do those proposals is found on page 5 of your graduate studies notebook. No, not so, Miss Lynn?
I don't have it, ma'am.
Oh, heavens.
No, I went through it earlier today because I was starting the proposal. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't have it.
I didn't get anything either.
Mr. Todd, you have it from last year, yes?
Oh, the last year. Okay. Yep. Okay.
I've got my syllabus and my
Yes.
payment log and all that, and I've signed my life away to say I'm doing a degree, but I don't have anything on the thesis, Dr. Angel.
Yes. We have about half the student. Mr. Todd, you're just like, your last name starts with a T. So we are getting to your paperwork, but we know that you're doing just fine and that you've been through your master's. So you do have the same graduate studies notebook that I would send you again this year. So I think it's found on page 5, but Miss Lynn, we will get that to you straight away. Is there anyone else who needs that straight away tonight? Lisa Berry has hers. Miss Pratt, are you in undergrad degree or are you in grad degree?
I'm doing the bachelor.
Okay, so then you're set. That's fine. Michael Morlock, you have yours from last year. Do you need another copy?
I don't know. I'm looking for it.
Okay, and Rashawn, do you have yours? Tanya, do you have yours? I'm calling out names and no one's responding. You do. Okay, good.
They have been raptured.
I would be gone with them then. I'd be like, poof, I'm gone. And Miss Nasette, I know you have yours. Good, Miss Tanya, you have yours. Excellent. Okay. Are there any questions concerning the thesis or dissertations? And please be aware that other than the proposals, we'll be talking about the rest of your thesis and dissertation in the how to write a book section of our classes. So you don't really have to know anything beyond proposal tonight. Am I overwhelming anyone?
Dr. Angel, is the proposal in PDF like the reaction papers?
Yes, please. I'm not overwhelming anyone. Everyone's cool. Everyone's copacetic. I am like the easiest teacher ever. It's fine. Okay, cool. All right. So we know that the university works. You earn your credits through classes, attending classes and listening to classes. We know that those classes are found on Zoom, YouTube, Facebook Live. We know that if you don't watch your classes live on Zoom or Facebook, that you have to comment in the comment section of your YouTube. I am learning about attaching notes to YouTube if you need them, but everyone has a subscription to their calendars, and we will fix your lack of notes on the calendars, but they are attached there too. So we know that about the classes. We know about independent study. You find your books on your syllabus. You find out your independent study on the syllabus. Those books are listed there. They have the assignments. Where is your syllabus found? NCU.education on the home page down at the bottom. Okay, so your syllabus is there. Most of the assignments are called reaction papers. We have the reaction paper guidelines. They are given to you in your student profile. They are also found in the student notebook, handbook. We also know if you're a grad student or a post-grad student that you're working on a thesis or dissertation that's due as part of your courses. And that you can find the guidelines for that in your graduate studies notebook. We also know that that proposal is due on November 11th at midnight. You may or may not hear from me, but we will approve it or disapprove it. It requires 3 signatures, so those take a long time. But by December 11th, you'll probably hear a yay or nay on it. Most of the time, it's yes.
Sorry, Dr. Angel, after we put the proposal in then, would you recommend we don't do any work until we've got a yay or nay? Or that we work on what we've proposed with our fingers crossed?
I would recommend that you do research on the topic, because we very rarely, in the 15 years I've been with the college, I've only changed the topic twice. So we very rarely, I would recommend you study about the topic, but then be open to me calling you and saying, hey, Miss Lynn, our board loves this, but we want you to include this scenario within your writing. Or we may say, we want you to go full-fledged ahead with what you plan on going ahead with, because it sounds beautiful and we can't wait to read it. So that's like, we never change the topic unless you're so far off your major. We will make you, like if you're an education major and you're doing it on theology, we're going to make you change your topic. But other than that, you're fine. So let's talk about internship. Internship is simply this. You have to spend 10 literal hours a month doing something that has to do with your major. If you're in Christian leadership and organizational management, you need to volunteer as in an administrative role to help an administrator, to help your leader, to help support them, maybe to organize a nursery schedule, maybe to organize the visitor packets and how that flows with visitors, follow-up, visitation, or whatever it is you do. If you are an accountant at your church, whatever. In counseling, it's especially important. You have to do 10 hours of counseling internship in order to even apply for a license as a counselor in most countries and states. So you'll want to ask a licensed counselor if you can become an intern, sit in on counseling sessions. I have paperwork, I have letters that I can send to you if your counselor requires that. Teaching, of course, you can always volunteer at a school, at a Christian school, or if you already have a job or a position doing that, that also counts. So think about where you want to spend 10 hours per month, and those hours must be verifiable, which means I have to be able to contact the person who sees you doing them. And when I contact the person, I have a set of questions I ask them. And I don't really reveal to my students too much about those questions, but the leaders definitely appreciate me asking them. And then you might say to yourself, well, what do you do with that information? Here's what we do. We inform your academic mentor of the discussion, the bullet points of the discussion that we had with your leader. And then your mentor can gently guide you toward what you're doing correct and away from what you're doing incorrectly. So we definitely have your best interest at heart, and we definitely want to set you up for success in whatever ministry you're going to be in. Usually if you listen to our courses and you understand the culture of honor, and you understand how a leader thinks, you understand the role of a spiritual father and a spiritual son, you do okay. There's nothing. And if you understand your purpose, especially, and you flow in that, you do pretty good in your internship. So there's not too much that needs to be guided there. So if you ever get us on the phone with you and we don't have a lot of feedback for your internship, it's because you're doing good. We allow you to earn 1 credit hour per month. Now, you may say, if I'm working 10 hours, shouldn't I earn at least 3 credits for that? No, and here's why. We want you to have the experience, but we also want your transcripts to look really strong. And a lot of times Christian universities get bad reputations because we lean way too heavy on the life learning credits instead of the actual study credits. We want to look like a very strong university that has given their students a strong foundation. So we want you to have more study credits than we want you to have life learning credits. And your internship must be within the scope of your major. You can't work in a preschool and then say you're earning your counseling degree on that internship. It doesn't work like that. You have to match your major to whatever it is you're doing. Yes, I think that's all I had to say about the internship. Are there any questions about that? Oh, the reports. Yes. Okay. So if your internship changes every month. Hi, Maribel. Good to see you.
Hi, my apologies, Dr. Angel. I had to stay late to work today because there's a big play coming and she kept me there and I'm like, oh my gee.
Well, that's okay, Maribel. Why don't you, when you can, watch the beginning of this class on the NCU Facebook page or the NCU YouTube page.
Okay, I will.
Excellent.
Thank
You're welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yes, the reports. If your internship changes, like let's say you have a different director, you have a different person you answer to every month, then I need a new report every month. But if you say work in the same area of ministry with the same leader in the same facility, then you're just going to turn in 1 for the year. And if something changes, let me know then. But you only have to turn in 1 for the year. Let's make those annual internship reports due on November 11th as well.
So, how do I do that with theology?
You're going to have to intern for... I can talk to you about that. I have some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Are there any other questions?
Make sure that you don't give Mike all the good ideas for the internships in theology.
Okay, no problem. No problem. We got you. We got you both covered.
Oh, and I couldn't find that workbook either.
What workbook?
Or not the workbook, but the
Oh, the graduate studies. Okay, got you.
handbook.
Got you. I got you. Not a problem. Any other questions concerning internship? Okay.
Sorry, Dr. Angel, I'll need to reach out to you too, because I think I have a different direction for my original major from last year.
Okay.
And I have questions about internship also.
Okay.
Okay.
Hannah Hayes, hang on just a second. I'm going to open my personal calendar. Okay. When is a good time for you to meet with me?
Do you have any openings either tomorrow? Hang on. Either like before 8 a.m. or after 11 p.m.?
Can we push it to Thursday?
Yep, let me see.
And then I do have those times on Thursday. Thursday, I'm much more flexible.
Okay, let me see. Okay, perfect. Could we do maybe like 11 on Thursday?
11 a.m. on Thursday or 11 p.m. on Thursday?
A.m.
Excellent. Okay, 11 a.m. on Thursday. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
You're in need of one as well. Okay, Rashawn Rigby, when are you available? I have Thursday. There you are. Let's unmute you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you can let me know which days work best for you. Thursday anytime after 1 p.m. on Thursday, we could meet, since you're going to already be meeting with Hannah.
Okay, 1:30 p.m. on Thursday?
That works for me.
Excellent. I'll see you then. David may need one as well, but of course he is not on here. Have him text me, Miss Lisa, okay? All right. So now, are there any more questions concerning that? Okay. I told you Facebook, it's going to be boring. Sorry, no teaching tonight, but this is valuable information. And then the last thing I want to talk about is academic mentors. Now, no one has their academic mentor yet, save I think 2 or 3 of you. But usually the graduate or postgraduates are mentored by one of the administrative people, like such as myself, Chris Isbell. Everyone has escaped my. Malk Burton, Todd Williams, April Williams. So we have administration for the graduate degree level and the postgraduate degree level people. But what we do is we allow people to intern who are graduate and postgraduate by, especially if they've been alumni of New Covenant University. We allow them to intern as academic mentors to the undergrad classmen. So if you're an undergrad person and you're like, hey, that person's a student and they're mentoring me, yes, because we have a certain level of trust in them because they've been most excellent students in our university before, and because they're also already walking in the field, working in the field that you are wanting to get into. So we allow for that internship there. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, your academic mentor will give you 1 hour of personal time per month. 1 hour of personal time per month. Sometimes you can make arrangements between your academic mentor and you to divide that up into 2 half-hour sessions bi-weekly or 1 hour session per month. Doesn't matter. We never, if the mistake is made, we expect you to draw it to our attention, but we never put a male with a female. It's always lady with a lady, male with a male on the undergrad level. If you're being mentored by an administrative person, we do that, but we also invite your spouse to join.
Like that.
If you're a couple going through the course, we can give you a longer slot of time if you would like to come together to your mentorship meeting. What is mentorship? Mentorship is an opportunity for you to ask personal questions about your walk. We maintain the highest level of privacy. We don't share with anyone what we talk about. It is just like a pastor-congregant relationship. We don't share with anyone what we talk about, and we also do our best to guide you. Now, mentors do not know everything. So if they come across a question they don't know, they'll do one of two things. They'll say, I don't know, let me pray about that and let me research it. Or they will say, I don't know, I would like to elevate that to administration with NCU. Would you agree to that? And so one of those two things will happen. Do you have to have mentorship? No, absolutely. We offer it as an amenity, as an option to our students. But I will tell you this, you will only get out of your education what you put into it. And Hannah can attest to this. You must pursue your mentor. You must pursue them quite diligently. We are all working in our fields. There is not one of us who is a part of the university that is a full-time, totally devoted to just NCU staff member. We are a small university. So we all do other things, and sometimes we travel, and sometimes we have a lot going on with our ministries. But we want you to pursue. If you don't pursue, because that's one of the foundational teachings we teach you, you must pursue a mentor. A mentor is not going to come after you. You get 1 hour per month. You must pursue and follow up. And if you don't want a mentor, you don't have to have one. Although someone will be grading your papers who is a mentor. Are there any questions concerning that? I have done my job well tonight. How many of you appreciated this class and wish I had had it last year? We're growing. We're getting better at it. We're trying. Now we're going to talk about tuition really quick. I'm just going to brush on it. A lot of you have a tuition bill already. Some of you don't. NCU never turns away a student based on their inability to pay full price. We do have the acute understanding that anything given away is not valued. We also want you to learn to walk in faith. So a payment must be made on a regular basis. Now, last year, I was so full of grace, and I don't want, if you're part of this group, I don't want anyone here to take it personally. I don't. Last year we were giving a lot of grace, and we took exactly $0.00 with the promise that by the end of the course, a full tuition payment would be made. And based on that promise, many of them were walked. They did not receive their paperwork that they were let walk. And I still have not received not one payment. No one here in attendance of this class is in that boat. But there are some students who still have not paid one single because it didn't come through. So that is why we ask that you make a minimum payment of about $50 a month. Minimum payment of $50 a month. If you're not going to, and you call me and you explain, I gotta skip 1 month, I'll pay you $100 next month. We understand. But our donors who help support your tuition, who make it possible for me to spend my time studying and putting things together, they are under the understanding that you guys care more about your education than they do. And so if you're valuing it and you're sowing into it, they know that you are worthy of receiving scholarship funds as well. But I've had many people who have devalued their degree because they felt, well, we didn't pay for it. Every degree is paid for. Every degree is paid for, but it may not be paid for by you. We also ask that if you graduate NCU and have received scholarship funds, even if you haven't, but the Lord puts on your heart to partner with us for $20 a month to help other students go through after you finish with your degree, we'd ask that you'd prayerfully consider that and help support other students going through our university. Are there any questions about tuition payments? There's no due date, but we do ask that you try to give once per month. You can. The very best way to give, if you are not local, is Zephy. Zephy receives international funds, and there's a drop-down menu where it says fees, where you can drop down and say, I elect to pay no fees. And so it really does help on your end that you don't have to pay the fee for donating to a nonprofit. So all of our funds are donated. We're a religious organization. So what you're doing is you're making a donation toward the religious organization. And that in turn allows us to stay free so that we can educate you and offer these degrees.
Dr. Angel, am I right in thinking that the PayPal name is slightly different and people shouldn't, or am I wrong on that? I can't remember.
I'm gonna look.
I'm wondering if it came under your umbrella name.
Oh, yes, I do believe, because we have to file so yes, that is under New Covenant International, New Covenant Ministries International, or New Covenant, that is our umbrella name. But it does say New Covenant. Some people are trying to use old links that say Purpose International. Those are no longer any good. We are New Covenant Ministries International for Facebook. for PayPal. And then the rest of them say, we have Zephy, we have Cash App, we have Venmo. And they're under New Covenant University. If you wish to pay over $1,000 at a time, we do allow for wiring. If you're in the Bahamas area, we do have a local way of paying. It does require a little more effort than just being at home with a credit card, but we do have a local way of paying, so that's fine as well. Are there any questions on making payments to the university?
Is there any local way of anybody paying for us?
You mean nah.
Just asking.
You're so great. I love y'all. We do have some scholarship funds trickling in, and of course we always apply those to the back end if we can. Some of your student profiles reflect a small scholarship on the front end, but then if we can, we try to add it to the back end as much as possible. And sometimes when we tell the story of a student is sponsored in particular, like a donor will say, hey, I want to sponsor this student in particular. And so we always honor that. But yeah, I hope I'm rooting for you, Mr. Todd.
I think Dr. Todd was asking for a friend.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Dr. Angel, is this the place where you want to address the $200 for the cap and gown, or is that a much later event?
Right,
it is on the student thingy, I don't know.
Yes, we normally address it whenever graduation season, but it is a good thing to actually prepare people in advance. If you are an undergrad student, there is a $200 graduation fee. That includes your cap and gown, your tassel. It includes your administrative paperwork, which has to be paid. People have to do that, and so we need that for printing costs and things like that. Now, if you attend graduation, that is the cap of that is your graduation fee. If you attend graduation, if you fail to attend graduation, there is an additional $100 fee for shipping costs for your cap and gown to be sent to you. Now, you may say, hey, I have a cap and gown from last year. And if you're an associate and you're in your bachelor degree program, that's going to work just fine. And if you are a graduate student who had the stripes, the velvet on your robe, that's going to work just fine. Then those graduation fees get cut in half. Well, the doctorate just gets a $100 discount because the hood is very expensive. So instead of $400, you will be paying $300 if you already have the gown. Is everyone clear? Is that clear as mud?
So for the master's program, because this is my first year with New Covenant.
So it would be $200 for the master's degree program. And if you cannot attend your graduation in person, it's an additional $100.
Oh, okay. And where do you know where probably the graduation would be?
We are looking at venues in Florida currently.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Now listen, I cannot reiterate to you enough. There's no spoon feeding at New Covenant University. You have to work your program. You have to be proactive. You have to pursue your mentors. You have to be responsible for your assignments and discipline yourself to do 2 to 3 per month. You have to make a small tuition payment at least every single month. Is there anything else that I can answer for you?
Excuse me, Dr. Angel?
Yes.
Maybe I misunderstood when you were explaining the robes. Can you go over it again? Because I have the bachelor's robe. So what do I do? I know I'm in the master's program.
So if you're in the master's program and you will need to pay the $200 graduation fee, but then you will have your robe for next year already, and you'll only pay $300 for your doctoral program fee instead of the $400.
Oh, so the master's robe, I need a new robe. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alicia Berry with Florida for graduation, where there's still being one in Ohio. I'm working with a pastor that you know, Miss Lisa. I'm working with a pastor that you know in hopes that we launch a campus in his church, and it will be attached to a conference. The graduation itself will be attached to a conference that you would probably want to attend anyway. But I can't make that announcement yet. Wouldn't it be nice, though, if we had the whole main graduation in the Bahamas and everyone could have a little Bahamian vacation?
Help me in on that one.
I just think that works for me.
Right. Go with the
Are
first
you are you in the syllabus, which shows I haven't looked very well? Is there a conference within the syllabus like there was last year, or not this year, Dr. Angel?
Not this year. We'll
Thank you.
announce those. We'll put those in the calendar as they come up. Usually I know a month out, and I believe I already have one. Let me check. Okay, I don't have it listed there, but I know that there will be one put in the calendar for April. But it's in Ohio, so, you know, if it's convenient for you to attend in Ohio, that's great, but I understand a lot of constraints. I also want to include some of our other host campuses conferences. So as always, they are worth credits if you want to attend, but they're not required. Our programs are solid enough that you can graduate without having to attend any of those things. I think we should all stay with Hannah when we graduate.
I backed you the first hair appointment.
I told her she's totally ruined me. She's gonna have to come to Florida every time I need my hair done.
Yes.
wherever the Bahamians come for graduation, we need to bring plenty rice.
Yes. Yes.
We were looking for rice. Oh my God. Find it in Ohio. But everything else was beautiful. Just the rice was missing.
Yes, yes. Oh, well, if there's, me too. Miss Lisa will bring the bacon, Hannah.
Good. Gotta have the bacon.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that Bahamian food was so delicious. I was just telling a friend of mine about it the other day. And I miss the Bahamas already. I've only been gone from there for about a month and a half, but need to go back. Are there any other questions to this? Does everyone understand? I know that half of you have received your student packets and the other half have not. Please, thank you so much for your understanding and patience. It is on our normal timeline to get those out by the last week of October, although we always are optimistic and hope to get them out before then. It usually doesn't work out that way, but we thank you for your patience and understanding. No other questions? Oh, go ahead.
I had many questions, Dr. Angel, but I know I got here late, so I don't know if it's correct for me to ask the questions. You know, I know I have to go back. I'm going to watch the videos, but my thing, I just got a book today, The Journey Through the Bible, a workbook, right? And I was able to see, do I have to, what I wanted to know was how many assignments, you said 2 to 3 a month, or I don't know, I'm in the master's program.
Oh, just 1 to 2 a month for you.
Okay, and what is it, an essay, or how do I see the assignments?
Sure. You have a syllabus, and they can be found on our website on the homepage at the bottom.
Okay.
If you scroll down the homepage, there are 4 options: Associate of Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts. You're going to click on the Master of Arts, and the options for your majors will come up. Then you're going to click on that major, and your syllabus will pop up. And it will tell you the book that is required. That's called our independent study. The book that is required, and the assignment.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Sister Hannah did send me that link yesterday, so
Excellent.
I will go in there.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so much. By the way, I really enjoyed my first day in the video. I watched all the videos, went back to my to the calendar, watched all the videos, and I enjoyed all of it. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad. And you got your Journey Through the Bible book?
I do have it, yeah. Because I have went to the link where the chart, and I was trying to find the different books. I'm like, I didn't see any books. I'm like, oh my God, I have to get my books. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alrighty. Well, I think we've ended class a little early tonight. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for joining me on the NCU Facebook page. And if you're watching this after 30 days, you'll be watching it on YouTube. This will change every year, but I'm glad that you are interested in NCU or you're a student of NCU. If you have any questions, again, that's 615-948-2212. We're happy to answer any of your questions. You have a great night.